So it seems like majority of you really enjoyed the last video where I recast Harry Potter for today. So let's move on to Chamber of Secrets. And of course, if you haven't seen it yet, and you're wondering why I didn't cast a certain character, it's probably because I did it in that first video where I recast Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So everyone from Dumbledore to Snape was cast as new actors for a television series. So we can really focus in on the story and not be restricted by time like the movies were. Also, a couple corrections about that video. As many of you pointed out in the comments, Adam Driver, who's in his 30s, is actually perfect age for Snape. I mentioned he was a little bit younger for the role, which is obviously not the case. I obviously had Alan Rickman in my mind when talking about the character, and it definitely crept into my thoughts when talking about Adam Driver. Also, a good number of you keep on mentioning how expensive this potential TV series would be. Let me be clear, this is a fantasy cast. Therefore, I'm going for the actors I feel fit the role best. And I'm assuming that pretty much we're gonna have a massive budget when it comes to this series, because it's Harry Potter. So let's recast Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So Chamber of Secrets, in my opinion, the worst Harry Potter film, but not the worst story. The mystery element and the question of if our main character is actually the one opening the chamber is great. When you're talking about casting, it's appropriate to start with a role that's pretty much recast every movie anyways. That's the professor who teaches defense against the dark arts. The one job at Hogwarts that's pretty much a revolving door. So I'm gonna start with Gilderoy Lockhart, the man, the myth, the legend, or so he'd have you believe. He's won awards for his heroic acts, and he has the personality to match those stories. Of course, he never actually did those acts, but he is...
I'm rather gifted with memory charms.
I mean, he's obviously very handsome. He has blonde, wavy hair. He's known for his flamboyant clothes, and really his love for vanity. Clear answer for Lockhart, and actually the original casting, is Hugh Grant. Unfortunately, I think he's kind of aged out of the role, and I'd like to see someone with more of a spring in their step, so therefore it won't be Hugh Grant at all. So for Lockhart, I think Ewan McGregor. He has a suave nature to him. He can play roles very big or very small, and I feel like there's a hint of humor in all of McGregor's performances, and in a lot of his roles.
I had this, Jack. I took my eye off the ball just for a moment, but I had this. Ow, careful.
McGregor has always made great acting choices, and he could definitely do something interesting with the role. He can play classically trained and more Shakespearean if they choose to go the way that Kenneth Branagh played the role.
I gave Qui-Gon my word. I will train Anakin.
That being said, I'd like to see Ewan make it his own and really explore what he'd like to do with the character. So Ewan McGregor as Gilderoy Lockhart. Next, let's tackle the Weasleys. Arthur and Molly. They provide the much needed support and just consistency in Harry's life. They're always there for Harry, and you can just feel that. Now, I took a look at actors who naturally are ginger first. Yes, some may work, but I feel that I picked two that are just too good to look just because their hair color isn't exactly correct. So first off, Arthur Weasley. His unassuming nature and his obsession with the Muggle world brings a lot of comedy to the character. So I think it would be important to cast someone with good timing, and preferably someone who has experience in comedy. Someone who can play calm and welcoming, but kind of dorky. I think Martin Freeman would be perfect for the role and played very well.
Excuse me. Sorry, I hate to interrupt. But the thing is, I'm not entirely sure you're in the right house.
Have you eaten?
It's not that I don't like visitors. I like visitors as much as the next hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come visiting. The thing is, I don't know either of you. Not in the slightest. I don't mean to be blunt, but I had to speak my mind. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Although he doesn't strictly meet the physical description of the character in the books, who's described as thin and going bald, I think he embodies that perfect dorkiness and loving nature that I've always pictured Arthur having. So, Martin Freeman as Arthur Weasley. Now for Molly. She's very much the head of the Weasley family, someone who is extremely loving, but has a firm side to her. Honestly, if you've ever seen Doctor Who before, there's a clear image in my mind, and I'm hoping in your mind as well, because Alex Kingston, who plays River Song, is absolutely perfect for this role. I highly suggest you watch the Matt Smith seasons of Doctor Who to experience some of the best TV ever, but honestly, you will see Alex in all her glory.
Sometime in the future, I just give you my screwdriver. Yeah. And why would I do that?
I didn't pluck it from your cold, dead hands, if that's what you're worried about.
And I know that because...
Listen to me. You've lost your friend. You're angry. I understand. But you need to be less emotional, Doctor, right now.
I'm not emotional.
There are 5 people in this room still alive. Focus on that. Dear God, you're hard work, young.
Yeah, who are you?
She's wonderful. She commands attention on screen. She can play soft or firm, which perfectly matches Molly. So Alex Kingston as Molly Weasley. Now onto another role, which premieres in the Chamber of Secrets, Lucius Malfoy, who's obviously a Death Eater and follows Voldemort. His character arc is one that gets severely sidelined in the films, and it would be great to see it come into fruition in a potential TV series. Therefore, we need an actor who can handle this turn, and the weight it puts upon him, all while being menacing and daunting on screen. Look no further than Mads Mikkelsen, who is no stranger to playing villains, but could provide some growth for this one.
You realize you have a choice.
What is it?
Angel Maker will be destroyed by what's happening inside his head. You don't have to be.
So, Mads Mikkelsen as Lucius Malfoy. Now, originally in the first video, I said I wouldn't be casting any of the child actors. Yes, it's true I want them to be unknowns, and I want us to grow up with these characters and watch them get older. But there are some characters in Hogwarts, and some students, who don't age. Like Moaning Myrtle, who before her death was made fun of and bullied at her time in Hogwarts. It's important we cast someone with a loud, booming voice, and can really fill up the room with a personality. That's why I'm casting Beanie Feldstein, who was amazing in Booksmart. She's definitely got the personality to match.
You can't do anything unless you're the center of attention, can you?
But she is American, but considering she's right in line with the character, I think it's as simple as slapping an English accent on, and she'd be exactly what I pictured for Moaning Myrtle.
Wait, are you guys talking about Molly Davidson?
Yeah.
That girl is so weird. She always acts like she's like 40. Molly's like a butterface for personality. A butter personality.
Yeah.
So bad.
That's cool, man. Yeah. What?
Oh, please do not stop on my account.
So Beanie Feldstein as Moaning Myrtle. Now, a character that we see in Chamber of Secrets, who's a student that doesn't really age, is Voldemort. Well, not really Voldemort, but a younger version of Voldemort. Tom Riddle, the bratty version of Voldemort, if you will. Described as dark, tall, and very handsome in the books. I feel like the version we saw on screen was a little bit too theatrical. I mean, it works in the movie that they made, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a much more complex take on the big bad is necessary. And it is difficult to cast someone so young with that much screen presence. But I feel like Timothée Chalamet would really be up to this challenge.
Why should you question my intent? Your father's rule is illegitimate. He has no right claim to his throne.
All monarchy is illegitimate. You yourself are the son of a usurper.
I understand he's not 16 years old, like Tom Riddle should be in Chamber of Secrets, but he does have a very youthful face, and I could totally buy into him being 16. I mean, he's been playing around that age for the last couple years. And he's one of the few actors under the age of 30 today that really have that presence and has what's required to be a big bad in a series like Harry Potter. So Timothée Chalamet as Tom Riddle. Now there are smaller roles that need to be cast as well, like the voice of Aragog. I feel like Jeremy Irons would be a fantastic choice to voice the role with his deep voice and his experience in voice acting.
To the typewriter, Crookshanks. I beg your pardon, sir, but you seem to suspect me of criminal activities, as if I were a dastardly forest brigand, or worse, some sort of Republic serial villain.
Dobby. Well, Dobby's hard, because Toby Jones is the voice of Dobby.
Harry Potter. Such an honor it is.
Honestly, I don't think I could hear another person doing the voice. This role might actually be one that's strictly coming down to a voice actor. Not a big name, but someone who really does something that sounds authentic to the character. I'm not going to cast someone specifically, because I think that the voice of Dobby should really be specific to Dobby, and not just someone's normal voice. I can't just stick an actor in here, because I think it needs to be created. It needs to have a voice actor really bring this character to screen with something we've never heard before, like Dobby originally. So that's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets with a new cast. Let me know if you enjoyed this one. Give this video a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe so you don't miss when I recast Prisoner of Azkaban and the rest of the Harry Potter series. And let me know some of your choices. I loved reading the last comments. And as always, thank you to my patrons Adam Gray, Jeremy Jacobs, Jenny Edwards, Gabe Marchand, Gunnar Lakeland, Colleen West, Marco Perry, Roland, Adam McShane, Shalon Hudson, Kieran Hunt, George Codenan, Brandon Warner, Sweevy, Alex Tao, Derek B. Bell, Jacob Wolf, Jacob Frolich, Alex Gardulo, and newcomer Lisa Hewer. Thank you for the support, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.